I've had to hire 18-year-old kids that have come through. And I've actually called their moms and dads and said, do you realize what I'm fixing to put your child in? They're fixing to see some of the horrors that you can't show on the news. And they can't come home and talk about it because you won't understand it. But Jeff loved what he was doing. He'd been doing it for almost 30 years. He had actually started in Alabama, Sylacauga, Alabama, and moved over to Waycross to take the job. Was a training officer with us when he first got there. Loved to train. That was just his passion to train. If Jeff was on a fire ground, he was in the middle of it. If he was on a vehicle extrication, a big wreck, he was in the middle of it. He did not mind getting dirty, and then he used those opportunities too, that we found out later that he was in the middle of it because he was teaching somebody. He always had teaching on his mind. It was shortly after midnight on December the 15th, 2013, and you could sort of tell by the dispatcher's voice that this was one of them good ones. This was one that was burning. Jeff was inside. He was on the line inside with a crew, with his crew, and they had gotten the fire out. We had called everyone outside to rest. We had a crew that we were going to get ready to go in and do the overhaul or the mop-up. And I remember Jeff sitting outside talking to me, saying that he and I were some of the old dogs, last of the old dogs, and about having leather lungs, breathing smoke and stuff like that. And I told him I appreciate it. I knew he was paying me a compliment in what he was doing. And I had gone looking around the ambulance, just checking out to see where everybody was at, and talking to everybody, make sure everybody was okay. And I heard a noise, and I was at the intersection, and the house is on a corner. And when I heard the noise, I turned and looked, but it wasn't something that startled you. It was just a noise that was unusual. And I seen just a big wave of firemen take off for the porch going into this house. When I get there, they say he's still inside. And I don't know what they're talking about. He's still inside because I wasn't aware that anyone was in there. I go into the house and I see the firemen. And it's eerie because it's like there's a dim light on inside there. You can see everything. And I could tell you who everybody was inside there. That's how clear it seemed to be. And they said he's over in one area of the big room, the big living room area. And I could see the firemen there digging at the floor. I went back and found out that he had a rookie firefighter with him that night. That was his first fire, the rookie's first fire. The rookie was in there with him, and they'd got him out successfully. And I went back to the rookie and asked him again, where's the lieutenant? I hadn't hardly got that out of my mouth, and someone said, I've got him in the other side. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. The worst thing I ever had to do was to go knock on that door. That's a knock I never want to do again. And it's tough. Then you go and you start thinking, how do you keep your department together? Because you see in families how it breaks it up, and we are a family, because every third day these guys, they live together. 24 hours, 7 in the morning to 7 the next morning, eat, sleep. They watch each other's kids grow up. They hunt and fish together. They eat supper together with each other's families. They have Christmas, the holidays and stuff they do. So they're family. So how are you going to keep these together? And we're blessed with a tremendous amount of people that work at the Waycross Fire Department and the community that come in and supported them. And we're making it through it. We go back and we check with the guys from time to time and just say, how's it going? We don't sit down and have these kind of conversations. It's not that time yet. I started out by talking how much Jeff loved to train. The rookie that was with him is very quiet. He hardly talks at all. He's just that type person. I waited a few days and I went to him and I said, I just got to know, what were y'all doing in there? Because we were waiting for another crew to come. And he said, Lieutenant was in there teaching me. He loved training. I asked him, I said, what are you going to do? And he said, I want to be a firefighter. I said, okay, that doesn't answer my question. What are you going to do? And he said he had talked with his wife, and she understood the dangers of it, and clearly she understood them now. And he said, I always wanted to be a firefighter. And I said, that's great, but what are you going to do? And he said, Lieutenant Little wouldn't want me to quit. I said, son, what are you going to do? He said, I want to be a firefighter. Like I said, once you ignite it, you can't turn it off. I'm Chief David Eddins. I'm carrying Lieutenant Jeff Little. Who are you carrying?